Hey, what's up guys, I'm back in the video, and today I'm talking about the possibility of Paul George going to the Houston Rockets. In this video, I'll be giving reasons why the Rockets would want him, why Paul George would want to go to the Rockets, and why it would make sense for the Rockets to sign him and everything. And the reason I'm even making this video, because there was a report that just came out just yesterday that said that the Rockets are going to be very strongly pursuing Paul George, because, I mean, with it looking less and less likely that LeBron is going to go to Houston, the next best thing is Paul George. And I mean, there's been tons of rumors about where Paul George is going. Is he going to stay in OKC? Is he going to go to the Lakers? Is he going to go to Houston? Is he going to go there? There's been tons of rumors around him, and now the Houston Rockets have been thrown in the mix. Well, now I got to make a video on that. So without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so my first thing I'm going to get into is why it would make sense for the Houston Rockets to want to sign Paul George. My first reason for them wanting to sign him would be that it would improve their already very, very good defense, as Paul George is a great defender. I mean, he's a 3-time all-defensive team player, and last year he averaged 2 steals per game, and that would be getting added to one of the best defensive players of this century, Chris Paul, probably definitely one of the best defensive point guards we've ever seen, as he's a 9-time all-defensive player. He's 6-time steal champ, and this year was averaging 1.7 steals per game, and that is a great thing. And even without Paul George, they're already a top 7 defense. You throw Paul George in that, they probably will have a top 2, if not the best defense in the entire NBA. They would probably end up passing San Antonio Spurs for the number 1, and even James Harden, who was looking at to be a liability on defense his whole career, he even stepped up playing defense this year, and is had by far his best defensive year he's ever had. And then you throw it along with Clint Capella, he emerged as an elite paint protector. Their defense would be much improved, and I mean, it would make them be that much closer to being a finals contender or winning the finals. They probably would have made it to the finals without Paul George this year if Chris Paul didn't get hurt, but obviously his knee went bad. So if they had Paul George, they would still have James Harden and Paul George, and that Chris Paul injury might not have hurt him as bad, and they still might have been able to make the finals. You never know, because they would have been able to guard Golden State a lot better. And they would kind of, you know how the Houston said they're building a team to play against Golden State? He would just be another piece like that, to where he would be able to fit in, and he'd play very well against Golden State, because he could guard Kevin Durant, because right now Houston really doesn't have anyone that can really guard Kevin Durant. But Paul George, who's a great defender, can definitely guard Durant. He's an elite small forward. I mean, obviously Kevin Durant's better and will still score on him, but I mean, at least Paul George can then slow him down and keep him in check, and Durant's not going to go for 40-50 points on him, or 30 points like he did against Houston almost every game. The Houston just didn't have anyone that could even remotely guard him. Paul George can definitely at least try to guard him, and guard him very well, better than anyone that the Houston Rockets currently have. So it would help their defense, not only in the NBA, but against the team that they have to ultimately beat, which is the Golden State Warriors. But my second reason is that they would have the most complete starting 5 in the entire NBA. As just look, it would give them an elite pass-first point guard in Chris Paul, who's probably still a top 5 point guard in this league, if not a top 3 point guard in this league. For sure Hall of Famer, and gets his teammate involved, but can also score for himself. Then at the shooting guard, they have debatably the best shooter in the NBA, a future Hall of Famer, probably this year's MVP. He is virtually unguardable in James Harden. I mean, he's a beast. That's already one of the best guard duos in the league, if not the best guard duo in the entire league. Then you add Paul George to the equation, who's a top 15 player in the league, can play great defense, can take over games with his scoring, can shoot the 3-ball very well, which will fit into their offense greatly. He can drive, he can do everything very good, and it would just ultimately be that last piece that they need to get over the hump, which is the Golden State Warriors. And then you even look at their 4, which is PJ Tucker, who's a great veteran. He showed tons of grit in that series. I mean, he hustled his ass off, grabbing rebounds. He really was grabbing tons of rebounds over Durant, and kind of outworking Durant in that series. Durant's just more talented, and that was the reason he won the matchup. But if he wasn't much more talented, PJ Tucker would have definitely worked him over, but Durant's just that good, so it didn't matter. And then Clint Capella, one of the best centers in the league. He emerged as one of the most elite paint protectors in the league today. One of the few centers left that are actual centers, you know what I mean, that are actually good and usable. He is very usable, very athletic, and he just fits into their team very well. to give them that more of a paint presence, as PJ Tucker's not a very tall forward, but I mean Clint Capella makes up for that for him. But now my third and final reason for why it would make sense for Houston want to resign or to sign him in free agency is that they'd have one of the best benches in the NBA. Because right now they already probably have a top 3 bench in the NBA with just how great they are. I mean, they have the 6th man of the year Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, Mbah a Moute, Nene. Their bench is just very, very stacked and very, very efficient for them. You know what I mean? Yeah, they only went like 7 deep, but I think he could have went a lot deeper. I think he was just kind of like scared to go deep, make sure everybody wouldn't like choke or anything. But I think he could have definitely went deeper in that series to give his players more rest. I mean, their bench is very good. And just think, if they're able to get Paul George, Trevor Ariza will not be on the bench. That dude has been starting his entire career. He's a veteran. He's a great, very productive starter for Houston, and a huge reason why they got to the conference finals and won 3 games against them and forced to game 7. But, I mean, if you can have that off the bench, you know how amazing that's going to be? You're going to have the 6th man of the year, probably 6th man of the year this year too, in Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza, Mbah a Moute, Ryan Anderson, who else did they? Nene. Their bench is going to be absolutely stacked. They're pretty much going to have a starting lineup off their bench. I mean, for a team that already has probably one of the best starting lineups in the NBA, to have another starting lineup coming off your bench and being able to rest the star players that you have, that's going to be extremely, extremely helpful for them. And I mean, even this year, when the big 3 of Capella, Chris Paul, and James Harden played, they only lost 2 games, and one was to the New Orleans Pelicans, so that was a fluke. I mean, obviously the Pelicans are good, and I'm a Pelicans fan, but I mean, they cannot beat the Houston Rockets on a normal day basis. It was a fluke, and that was a game that Marcus Cousins got hurt, so screw you, Houston. Okay, you ruined my dreams. Anyway, getting off topic. But I mean, they only lost 2 games. Really, they should only lost 1 game, like with the big 3 all starting. So if you add Paul George to that and make it a big 4, no telling how great that team can be. They even had the best record out of every single team in the entire NBA. So if you add Paul George to that, there's just no telling how great that team could actually end up being. They might be able to knock off the Golden State Warriors for the first time, and well, it would be the first time in 5 years next year, because they already made it to the finals this year. But if they can do it next year, it'll be the first time in 5 years, or the first time in 4 years, should I say, they didn't make the NBA Finals. So those are my 3 reasons why Houston should do it. But now I'm going to be getting to why Paul George would want to sign with them. I only have one reason, but the reason I do this is because obviously Paul George isn't going to sign with a team that he doesn't want to be with, because well, that just wouldn't make sense. So basically the reason that I wrote down for him is because, I mean, the team that he was on, the Thunder, had an extremely disappointing season to what people thought they might be finals contenders. They might be able to compete with the Golden State Warriors to make it into the finals. Well, then Carmelo Anthony showed that he is complete and utter garbage and cannot be a third option, has to be the man with the ball, or he will be an absolute dumpster fire piece of shit player. So, I mean, it was really Westbrook and Paul George, and yes, they had great season. Russell Westbrook had a very underrated season, averaged a triple-double for his 2nd year in a row. Paul George, he was Paul George. He averaged around 20 points a game, got some rebounds, got assists, shot the ball. He was still an elite player, still an all-star level player. So, I mean, but they actually ended up losing in the first round to the Utah Jazz. So, I mean, that is a lot more disappointing than what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to make it be NBA Finals contenders, and they lost in the first round, so that is very bad for them. So obviously he's probably going to want to go to a team that's either contending or at least going to be winning some more games and go farther than the first round. And that place to go would probably be Houston, because Houston showed that they almost won to the NBA Finals without him. You had Paul George, that they're probably going to go into the NBA Finals this year, and he probably saw that, and maybe he's saying that the Lakers are still young. I don't think I want to go there. LeBron's going to be the key and everything. He's going to be like the centerpiece. Maybe I want to go to Houston to where I can win a championship, give myself a ring, and all of that. So, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to be here for this video, but I'm going to put my thoughts in a little bit. I think, personally, Paul George will stay in OKC. Only because Houston, Chris Paul has said that he's not taking a pay cut and he wants a max deal. Do I think he will get a max deal? No. He'll probably get a 3-year, $100 million deal, and then they'll give Paul George the rest of their money. If that would be how Houston would go about it, I'd assume we're trade some pieces to free up cap space. They're going to have to do something along those lines if they want to end up getting Paul George. So, yeah. So I do think he'll end up staying in OKC for 1 more year. Carmelo Anthony will end up getting traded or just cut from the team, or they'll keep him and hopefully make him come off the bench. I think if he comes off the bench, it would be a lot better. But if I think he went to Houston, I do think they would be able to win the NBA Finals. But I want to hear your thoughts below. Comment below. Do you think Paul George will go to Houston, OKC, the Lakers, or any other team in the league? What team do you want to see him go to? What team, like what NBA free agents this year are you most excited to see where they go? I want to hear all your thoughts below. Please comment below. And if you have any video ideas you want to hear from me or see me make, comment those below as well. If you did like the video at any point, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Hope everyone had a blessed day. You know the real homie upstairs. He always got your back. So I had a blessed day. Hope all have a blessed day. I'm finally back. I was on a beach trip. That's the reason my video I haven't uploaded one in like 5-6 days. I'm so sorry for that. I actually was like, I was kind of getting like sad I couldn't upload for y'all, but I'm back for y'all now. Hope you have a great day. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope y'all are blessed. I had a blessed day. Everyone have a blessed day. See you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo.